But what about the Israeli hostages still in Gaza? Amid the escalating tensions between Israel and Iran, Hamas has proposed a new ceasefire deal with Israel. After rejecting last week's US-mediated truce deal, Hamas has demanded permanent ceasefire in Gaza. Handing its new proposal to mediators in Egypt and Qatar, Hamas has said that any agreement must end Israel's war in Gaza. Here's what they propose: a three-phase process. The first phase would require Israel to end the war. No hostages would be freed in those first 6 weeks. They would be freed over the second and third phases, with each phase lasting 6 weeks. In exchange, Israel will have to free Palestinians who are in prison. This is what Hamas wants for peace to return, and their demands far more than those put forward by the US-coordinated mediators last week. And it does not even end there. Hamas has demanded that in the initial phase of this potential truce deal, it would see displaced Palestinians return unimpeded to northern Gaza. It would require Israeli soldiers, the IDF, to also withdraw from all urban centers in Gaza. So what happens to the Israeli hostages is the question that remains. Does Hamas have all the Israeli hostages? Because until last week, Hamas told the truce mediators that it is currently not able to identify and locate them. And if that's true, where are they? Hamas claims that it would use the initial 6-week phase of this potential truce deal to locate all the hostages and ascertain their condition. They are believed to be still holding 129 of the 253 hostages that were abducted on the 7th of October. There are doubts about how many of the remaining hostages are even alive. And under its new proposal, Hamas would release elderly and sick hostages. Women and female soldiers would be released in the second phase. Meanwhile, Hamas is demanding the release of 30 Palestinian security prisoners for each civilian Israeli hostage released. This is a 10-fold increase from the 3 security prisoners who were freed from each civilian hostage in the last deal in November 2023. Many of the demands laid out by Hamas in its previous proposals have been rejected by Israel as non-starters. For Israel, a permanent ceasefire and the withdrawal of Israeli troops from the entire Gaza Strip is not on the cards. Israel has said, in fact, it intends to resume the war once any hostage deal is carried out. Remember, Israel's 2 prime war goals are declared. Number 1, securing the freedom of all hostages. Number 2, destroying Hamas's military and governance capabilities in Gaza. Will Hamas's new proposal put the ceasefire talks in more jeopardy? We will have to wait and watch. And joining me at this point on the broadcast to get us the latest from on the ground is our correspondent Jody Cohen. She was in Tel Aviv all of today talking to the families of the hostages. Jody, thanks very much for being here. Where do you think these rising tensions really leave the hostage crisis?
Hi, Molly. So if you mean in terms of rising tensions, the hostage negotiations, Hamas has rejected the latest proposal for a temporary ceasefire and return of 40 of the 133 hostages. Hamas, as you said, they've reiterated for the 3rd time, perhaps, some of their initial demands, which Israel has called delusional. But negotiations at this stage are expected to continue. We haven't heard otherwise. But if you mean by rising tensions, Iran's attack on Saturday night, in which it fired 320 projectiles towards Israel, then the focus of the Israeli government has certainly turned to that and the question of how Israel would respond. Now, David Mentzer, Israeli government spokesperson, gave a statement on Monday, and he said that Iran runs Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis and militias in Iraq, and that Iran orchestrated Hamas's 7th of October massacre of Israelis. A Saudi official has reportedly told Israeli media that the Saudis also believe that Iran was behind Hamas's attack and the taking of hostages. So this suggests potentially that Israel might see putting pressure on Iran as a way to put pressure on Hamas to release the hostages.
Right. So, Jody, is there really a plan to bring the hostages home? What more can you tell us about the efforts that are being made at this point? What is your assessment? And you were talking to those families all day. Tell us more about what they told you.
Right, so in Hostages Square, it's an opportunity for people to meet with the families or friends of some of the hostages. I've been going there over the past 6 months. I was there again today, and the feeling is very much that time is running out for the hostages who've been in Gaza for 192 days now. They were saying, most of them, that the hostages need to be the government's top priority. As far as I can see it, there are 4 strategies that the Israeli government could take to get the hostages home. There's the hostage negotiations, there's pressure on Iran, pressure on Hamas, or perhaps a rescue operation, which would be difficult with Hamas's tunnels and the battalions left in Rafah. We don't know what was discussed in Sunday's war cabinet meeting, but if you look at Mentzer's statement, he said that even under attack from Iran, Israel has not lost sight of the goals, which, as you said, are to rescue the hostages and destroy Hamas. That includes, he said, targeting the last 4 Hamas battalions in Rafah. And he said this before highlighting that Hamas had rejected the latest deal proposal. The government has said repeatedly that it believes that military pressure is what will lead Hamas ultimately to agree to a reasonable deal. They said that's what happened last time. But reports in the Israeli media are suggesting perhaps that Israel might have delayed an operation in Rafah. This has been denied by the Prime Minister's Likud party, and it remains to be seen what Israel's next move will be.
Indeed. We're leaving it there for the moment. Jody, thanks very much for joining us with those updates.
Thank you.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.